too, is just having a fantastic year.
7-0 start for Carolina in the ACC. So we are off here on this Sunday, and the first swing of the day controlled by Moore from Lauren Ingram. Chance for Danica Rock, who's gotten more and more playing time for Boston College and earning her role as a sophomore. Missed some time last year, played just 12 sets and gives BC a 1-0 lead.
Well, the big thing for Rock recently is that you haven't seen that much of her in the front row this year. Has played a lot of the back row. Her serve receive, her passing ability has been top notch, but now they're giving her a chance to swing more.
Duke to work through the middle. Good dig by Yelland. Rock has to go to the back row, and Audrey Ross. And a chance for Duke to set up. On the slide play, we're tied at 1. And Gazi Elo, the redshirt senior from Peachtree City, Georgia, has kill number 110.
Yeah, she was the standout for Duke in the loss to Syracuse on Friday. Big hitting window there for Elo. She was really their biggest offensive threat. Have to imagine BC is going to want to try to slow her down.
Lauren Ingram serves for Duke. Moore with the set, and the shot goes for Anna Harrington. Talked a lot about the fact that, you know, more of a natural middle playing the right side, so has that ability to come to the middle and add an element to BC's offense.
Yeah, a little early wrinkle there from BC, flip-flopping her and Bella Ehrlich. Good reach by Harrington to get to that set.
Set across from Nikki Quinn. Rock gets it in the back row. Set for Ross, and BC leads 3-1.
You can see great approach here by Audrey Ross. Just 2 big strides, and again, striking that ball at the apex of the jump, high contact point, and being able to find that back corner.
Ross, 211 kills this year for Boston College, averaging 3.4 per set. The setter to start for Duke. Taylor Williams tries to go over, and a violation gives the point to the Blue Devils.
Ross again just has been unbelievable. Again, you know, you knew she was going to take the lion's share of the sets coming into the season, back as, you know, maybe the most consistent pin hitter, but it's another thing to sort of wear that role and then continue to perform
like that.
And I think the good sign for her today, obviously being able to put away a couple balls early on after, you know, kind of a rough performance against North Carolina. But those days where she's a little bit off, like she was against UNC, those don't happen back to back. She's usually been able to bounce back very quickly and have very strong performances.
Serve's been good so far from BC, and that's Ross who puts it over on 2. Chance for Williams into the block. Controlled by Duke for the moment. Williams back over. And Boston College resets. Yelland over, Harrington swing, and that goes. Talked a lot about Yelland and her ability to non-setter set, and that becoming an important part of Boston College's offense on points like these.
Yeah, I mean, over 100 assists on the year. That's really good for any libero, and I mean, she might be over 200 by the time you get to the end of the season, so you know, great to have that ability to be able to put hitters in good spots.
In her junior season now, and on her serve, Williams controlled by Aubrey Moore. Yelland, can she do it again for Ross? Not through the block this time. It's Brianna Goss up front, along with Zoe Gillen-Malvo leading the way, the freshman.
Yeah, and this has been a little bit of a recent tweak to the rotation for Duke, putting Goss, who is listed as a middle hitter, out there on that right side to try to match up with some of those powerful left side hitters you'll see in the ACC.
Charlotte Glass on the serve. Moore with a back set for Harrington. Excellent.
Terrific timing on that set. You know, quick release by Aubrey Moore. I'm sure Boston College glad to have her back in the fold after she missed a handful of games at the beginning of the ACC schedule. And this is really one of her big strengths, is that back set. Let's see, puts Harrington in a good one-on-one situation and even beats the blocker to the spot.
Yeah, she missed 7 matches, returned against Cal last Sunday. Such a huge piece, pairing with Mott as the 2 setters and Jason Kennedy 6'2". Not missed long. So Boston College has a 7-3 lead early here against Duke in the first set.
Yeah, if you sort of factor in now Danica Rock playing that other left side rotation opposite of Audrey Ross and playing all 6 spots, they really haven't had this full rotation together for very many matches this year.
That deflects off the block and out. So Duke gets one back, 7-4 is the BC lead. Taylor Williams, the sophomore, taking a big jump this year. Ross is in a good spot. Cornelia Roach goes over for Hoppus, and they get the point.
A great save off the block there to be able to pop that ball up, and nice composure by Roach. This ball has some spin on it off the deflection. But nice calm play by the veteran, and just puts it in a spot where Hoppus can hit it.
Little bit of a slide play, diving play by Yelland. Still a free ball over from Ross. Back set is blocked. Danica Rock almost solo there against Olivia Wayne.
Yeah, that's a big one, and obviously, again, where Rock hasn't had a ton of front row time, that's one where Duke will look to try to beat her for size, especially with Wayne having some height advantage out there.
This time through the middle, well executed by Gillen Malvo.
That's going to be big for Duke if they can stay in system and make the middles available. Gillen Malvo and Elo especially, so powerful. And without Julia Haggerty for Boston College, the middle block doesn't provide quite as much resistance as it did a year ago.
Mott back set, Hoppus, did that miss long? No, they say it counts. It was deflected on the way through. So 2 kills for Sam Hoppus.
See if we get an early challenge.
So they will challenge to see if there was a tip.
Kind of a pivotal point, you know, still even this early in the first set. You know, you don't want to
Might have been a time you were thinking about calling timeout anyway.
Right.
So I just find on these, it's so difficult to find enough to overturn on these tip plays. Even with it, you know, as good as the camera technology is, I mean, sometimes when you play it beat by beat forward, you might miss a potential flick or not. And again, to overturn to no touch.
Well, and really,
I mean, to me, I don't know how that could be conclusive on the looks that we're seeing. But
the other thing is
very difficult to tell.
The difficult part about this one in particular, Eric, I think, is you have to look at 2 different players. A lot of times on these touch calls, you really get the sense it only kind of maybe hit one player. But because of where Ingram is setting the block, it looked like it more likely took a deflection of her. But you also have Elo swinging the arms to try to close the block, so it very easily could have deflected off her fingertip as well. So you have to really check both blockers for Duke to see, if there was a touch on either one.
Boston College has been extremely good offensively so far.
And there you see, even though Elo's coming over late, it does get close to getting a piece of her as well.
I think it's just so hard to...
I'm sure some
so
of
hard
these
to get a conclusive look, I would say.
Some of these officials, I'm sure, leading into the season, look at some of these clips over and over again just to sort of get used to what they can expect to see.
And again, just to be clear, they have different cameras throughout the facility, the closed circuit feeds, so they may have a better look than we do. And they have overturned the call. They'll say no touch, and the point goes to Duke.
And there are certain telltale signs. You look to see, does the trajectory of the ball change? Does the rotation on the ball change? Those are kind of some subjective signs you can look to.
Set again misses long, so 2 in a row missed after Boston College got out to a start where they hit 636 through their first 11 attack attempts. 2 errors in a row. Brings us to 9-7. Here is Hoppus. This time doesn't miss.
Well, and that's the thing for Jason Kennedy. He's going to be maybe a little bit frustrated that almost half the Duke points have come off of unforced BC errors.
Cornelia Roach to serve. Grad student. Ingram dug by Roach, but couldn't control it. So 10-8 here in the first set. Olivia Wayne on the serve for Duke. Back set, Hoppus, excellent shot. I mean, even the one that missed long, obviously with no touch, but she's been very effective so far. As an opposite pair back with Lucy Mott now, with everybody healthy in the center spot.
I know we talked a lot about Audrey Ross and what she's done, but really I think the big revelation for Boston College this year has been the strength and the efficiency of both of their right sides, whether it's been Anna Harrington or Sam Hoppus. I mean, they're both hitting over 270 on the year. Right side going to be typically a little more efficient than that left side, but BC will use it, you know, as frequently as anybody.
Clean block by Bella Ehrlich.
That's a great read by the freshman. Knew exactly where this set was going to be and had Goss read perfectly there.
Ehrlich, who's in the top 10 in the ACC in blocks among conference games so far, 11th overall. Ingram off the block and good.
A good effort by Ross, but a long way to go to try to get underneath that ball. Let's see, Ross leaning to her left and then had to race to her right.
Moore tries the back set, slide play. Ehrlich wins it. Something that we've seen BC do a little more of this year than in years past.
Yeah, not a set you typically see with the 6-2, but again, that's the advantage you have with Harrington in the front row to be able to show her as a middle. And Ehrlich showing that nice footwork.
Drop serve. Makes life really difficult. Moore goes to Ehrlich, got another. Even still, the Eagles hitting about 500 in this first set. They're up 14-9.
Well, and starting to utilize Ehrlich a little bit more for her offense. You mentioned the blocking, which has been very good for a freshman, but they want to continue to see more of her develop.
I didn't trust my math. They're hitting exactly 500 in this first set. Williams got it. So Taylor Williams gets her third kill of the set.
Same thing we talk about with Audrey Ross, high contact point. Got that one over the BC block that time.
Ross bounces off the block and Harrington earns the point at the net.
Way to be alive up front.
Yeah, her fourth kill on 4 attempts. Going at it right now, massive showdown in the ACC on this Sunday.
Stanford, Miami later.
Over for Harrington. She continues her good day, tooling it off the block. 5 kills on 5 swings for Anna Harrington.
Yeah, just a totally different day for Boston College coming out and swinging in this first set. I mean, North Carolina, that block really gave them a lot of trouble on Friday, and Duke just, it's been one of the problems for the Blue Devils this year, just not enough net front resistance.
That is long from Yelland. Eagles hitting over 500 as a team so far, just 3 attack errors. So have 6 digs, go along with 13 kills. So Charlotte Glass now, the first-year setter from Boca Raton to serve. Or too high on the set, looking for Roach.
Still trying to get that rhythm back on those timing plays. Sometimes it takes a while. And it's not just the setter, you know, who's coming back. It's, you know, as a hitter, you've gotten readjusted to a different setter, so you have to sort of readjust as well.
Harrington wins another. (17-12). Harrington continues her perfect day on the right side.
We talk so much about Ross again and just the kills per set average. Harrington doesn't have quite those same numbers, but what she does have is maybe a little bit more consistency in terms of what you get out of her game in, game out.
Here's Ross, and Ross got it.
You know, Ross will have those peaks, you know, those 20 kill matches, but she'll also have some valleys like she had on Friday, you know, just 5 kills and 6 errors against the North Carolina. Harrington is good for, you know, probably 5 to 10 kills every match, usually at least a 200 hit percentage.
Long run to go for Ingram and a free ball over. Bot quick set. Roach still makes up for it. Even there, timing was slightly off, but Roach does a good job to read it enough to still be able to win the point. Duke's going to use the timeout. Down 19-12 here in the first set.
Yeah, this one, I think Mott just maybe a little overamped, just got a little excited and pushed this one high, but Cordelia Roach says, that's okay, I'll go and get it.
And the Eagles get another.
Strong serve. Lucy Mott's been getting better and better with the serve over the course of the season, and you almost wonder if it's just a product of now she's seen plenty of court time.
That one's into the net. I mean, you certainly gain a level of experience, no doubt.
Just that development process taking place, obviously sort of got her first taste, got her feet wet a little bit last year, but was not, you know, a part of the setting rotation. You know, won that job through the preseason this year along with her fellow sophomore Aubrey Moore, and you know, now that, you know, Jason Kennedy's been willing to hand the keys over to them.
Bot better set the middle that time for Roach. This is still alive. Eagles will play out. Mata back set this time for Hoppus right down the line and just missed.
Yeah, you could see the frustration on Hoppus's face. Got a great set to do a lot with and just tried to do a little bit too much. And this is Godshaw at her best. The ball in a tough spot just keeps the play alive and is rewarded for it.
So 20-14, the Eagles lead. Shaw has to bump set too far in front, and Ross takes advantage for BC.
Yeah, that's the one piece. You know, we talked about Yelland and what she does in terms of the backup setting, the out-of-system setting as a libero for BC. Godshall's got the defensive part down, but just didn't quite measure that set right, and Ross able to go up and win the battle.
Set was short. Eagles can play it out again. Danica Rock blocked it enough. Over for Hamlin, and Hamlin sticks it in the court. Boy, that's 2 points in a little sequence here for Duke that certainly did not feel like they were trending the Blue Devils' way, that they found a way to win.
Yeah, Hamlin just getting into the game and well-located shot to the corner.
Yelland. This into the block. Yelland, another good dig. What a point for Brooklyn Yelland. And the Eagles, this is still alive. You can play it out. Hot quick set for Roach. The back row, another dig by Godshaw. Hoppus again. Again, Godshaw with a great play. That was deflected and a point for Duke.
Now, what great effort by the Blue Devils, just hanging in there. Battling. BC just never quite able to put that ball down.
Those were the two early in the play. And then clearly deflected up front. So 21-16 is Duke trying to stay in this first set. Set was too far behind Rock. Hoppus trying again, and it's blocked.
games, and you want to come out of it with a winning record.
Good job by Mott calling for Yellen to take that set. And it's 22-17.
Yeah, great shot by Rock as well. You know, not trying to do too much with it, but just find those high hands of the block. Gets a good deflection.
Savannah Curtis will come in to serve for Boston College. Asked for this role more and more as the season's gone on.
That's why.
Eagles, who came in third in the ACC in aces per set, for 5th of the season. Deflected on the way through. It's 23-18. Olivia Wayne. First kill of the match on her 3rd attempt. Back to serve. Mott with a bump set for Hoppus. Nice back row play by Williams, but that is long. Not a bad idea, just not quite executed, and it's set point for Boston College.
Yeah, it is a good read by Glass, the freshman setter, but just needed to come straight down with that ball and ends up fumbling it a little bit, pushing it long.
So Aubrey Moore back in to serve for set 1 for Boston College. Slide play. Rock controls it enough. Here is Rock. Won the first point and wins the last of set number 1. 25-18, Boston College takes the opening set. Del Mar, California. Blue Devils 5-13 overall this year. Same 2-5 record in the ACC as Boston College. And that is long, and BC leads 1-0.
Now, one of the other things Duke has, been working through this year has been trying to figure out the right combination at the setter spot. Obviously, a couple young players in Glass and Quinn, but they've also got a veteran in Millie Meir who's played a lot. And they're just trying to find the right combination, right system that'll sort of unlock this offense more consistently for them.
First attempt for Ashby Zubcevic. I'm not calling her name all day so far.
And didn't play in that first set.
So 2-0. It's the Boston College lead. This time right down the line and executed well for the freshman outside hitter. From California. Double-digit kills in 6 of her last 9 matches.
Big when you can say you led the state of California in kills.
This is right at the net. Ehrlich keeps it going, and Ross gives the free ball. Williams is blocked. Hoppus and Ehrlich.
We talked a couple times in the first set about Duke keeping plays alive and earning points at the end of it. This is one where Boston College keeps a play alive. A nice job by Ehrlich getting underneath that overpass that Elo probably should have been able to put away, but she popped it up. And all of a sudden, BC extends the point and gets a block at the end of it.
That's into the net from Moore. So Ngazi Elo now. Slide play, Ehrlich. Block was in a good spot. Eagles recover for Ross. And this time she gets it through the block.
Just able to power through Goss that time. Again, that middle blocker on the right side. You've seen a lot of teams do that now.
Back set for Goss. Eagles control it again. Danica Rock, good swing. Oh, it missed. That's a pretty good swing down the line. Did not miss by much.
Yeah, right idea.
Cross court.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do in that spot. Definitely close.
Yep. Looks like it did indeed miss. Good set by Moore off a tough pass. Williams. And it's long, so the point to Boston College.
It's nice work by the block, getting their hands out of the way that time. Usually as you go up to block, you're thinking you just want to get a piece, you want to get a good touch. And sometimes you also want to just get out of the way.
Ehrlich serves 5-3. Boston College leads second set. And kind of in between Ross and Ehrlich that time, and Duke gets the point.
It's one of those, Ehrlich still learning from that defensive spot in the back row. Ross was in perfect position to take it, and then Ehrlich just trying to do a little too much, cut her off.
Rock. Godshaw could just get a piece of it, and then Williams following it up, and it's into the wall.
Another good hitting day so far for Danica Rock. She was instrumental, really, in that win against Cal last weekend. So I think just continuing to find her rhythm hitting. You know, she's not going to be as terminal maybe as a player like Audrey Ross, but, you know, put the ball in good spots, put pressure on the defense.
Definitely finding a role. That one hit the antenna. So point to Boston College. It's 7-4.
And I think it's one of those spots that Jason Kennedy would have liked to have maybe shored up before this point in the season. There's sort of a three-player rotating audition between Rock, Sequoia Lane, and Sofia Marjanovic.
3 points in a row for Boston College. They have an 8-4 lead. The opening set by a 25-18 result. Diving attempt by Yellen, couldn't secure it.
Two good swings so far from Zubcevic. Again, you can see just the moving of the chess pieces for Duke. They're just still trying to find that right combination, and it's just not the same group match after match.
Roach executes through the middle, 9-6 lead for Boston College.
Now against Syracuse, it was Elo who really had it going, and it was Ingram who had a couple good swings, and Wayne who had some good swings. Well, today maybe it's Williams and maybe it's Zubcevic, and it's just, you got to find that recipe that'll give you the same result game in, game out.
Still, as we were talking about on the other end of it, though, enough time left in the ACC that if you can find it, there's still plenty of time, but still just have not been able to do it so far. That one was long. It's 10-6.
And for Duke in particular, I think it's about more than just this season. It's about the big picture. I mean, there's so many first and second year players that they feature in the rotation, and it's just hoping that the chemistry develops over the course of this year and next year, and that they grow together into, you know, becoming a really good team.
Diving attempts, but it's into the net from Zubcevic. So Boston College has slowly but surely built the lead out here. It was 5-4 in this second set, where the Eagles have extended it out here to 11-6. Back set. Big dig by Mott against Wayne, and now Hoppus goes down the line that time, and Godshall's in a good spot. Shot returned to the same spot on the opposite side, and Duke gets the point.
Yeah, Mott caught cheating in a little bit there. One of the roles as a setter, you got to play that defense first. You could see Mott was cheating in a little bit from the line, and Zubcevic had it read.
That serve is long. It's the just the second serving error on Duke today. And it's Brooklyn Yellens. Good height that time by Zubcevic, but it goes into the antenna again.
And just let the ball get a little deep. And again, part of it is, you know, how much has she had a chance to work with Quinn throughout the year and really develop that chemistry. She's been in and out of the lineup. Quinn's been in and out of the lineup. You know, so when you're constantly working with different people, it's tough to have that rapport.
Yellen to serve at 13-7, Boston College up in the second set. Zubcevic off the block that time.
Really good flashes. Again, good power, good location off the block. Tough serve.
Ross calmly puts it back over to Hoppus. Free play for Duke. Mott got a piece of it, but it's over.
Good effort. Just couldn't control the powerful swing.
And that is long again. So not a ton of them, but that's 2 in a row in important moments.
Yep. Yeah, when you're chasing the set a little bit, you really, you know, you still want to be aggressive with the serve, but you don't want to be overly aggressive. That jump serve feels like for Zubcevic, it's still searching for some consistency on that end as well.
More to serve for Boston College. 14-9 our score, and Williams tries to go to the middle. Read well by Moore. Back set for Ross, and it's blocked. Haven't heard a ton of Audrey Ross in this second set so far, and that time the block was in good position.
Well, nice adjustment here. You'll see it's actually Elo on the outside, so they flip-flop her and Goss. Ross had been going down the line attacking the shorter player Goss, so Duke flips him, and now it's Elo, the taller player, setting the block. And Goss just has to get out there to close it, which she does well.
And a bad pass leads to another point, so Duke within 3 at 14-11. Here is Ross. Better set that time, and Ross not going to miss.
Well, that time off the serve, Duke isn't able to get the same switch in the middle. And so Ross is able to go over the top down the line. And this was sped up a little bit. You could see more of that tempo that BC likes to work with.
So a quick flip of the script for Boston College here in the second set.
Doesn't hurt to get a friendly bounce off the net.
It's down as the second ace of the day for BC. They lead 16-11. Williams just pushes it. Ehrlich back set. Harrington couldn't get it around the antenna.
That was tough because Moore comes sliding in for that dig, but then she also inadvertently takes Yelland out of the play. Ehrlich sort of has to come in and try to do something with that ball.
Moore had to go a long way for it. Harrington puts a free ball over. There's Williams. That's into the block. Second time for Williams. And Ross from the back row. Good play by Gutschall. Duke eventually gets it with Olivia Wayne.
Now there's where Gutschall will make a difference. Couple big digs on it, and even when Ross gets a good set from the back row, Gutschall with a nice play. They're able to get a good set for Wayne.
Back set Harrington, and Harrington continues her strong day.
But that's only her first of the set.
Yep.
So they really haven't been able to get the ball out to her as much.
First kill, third swing of the second set for Anna Harrington. That's 17-13. That drops in. Good little joust at the net, won by Duke. So more competitive, deeper into this second set at 17-14.
I think Jason Kennedy, I don't know if this is a challengeable play. I think his argument is that glass was over the net line, which she would not be allowed to do as a back row setter. Obviously, you can't block. The officials are saying, no, she stayed below the net. It just happened to pop over when Rock tried to dunk it on her.
More good set for Roach. And Cornelia Roach makes it 18-14.
Well, it won't be too much of a point of contention with the quick side out.
Tried to go with a quick set. Eagles got it over for the moment, but immediately answered by Wayne.
And Duke continues to really put different players in different spots. Again, Wayne had been on the right side, but stays in the middle there.
Mott finds Roach. Good answer for Boston College.
Well, this is the tweak, right? So if Duke's going to shift around their blockers to try to account for the pins, well, now BC's going to try to get the middles more involved, and they do so in a variety of ways, not just the straight one ball. Seeing more of those shoot sets here.
It's been a much different set. The hit percentage is far lower in this second set both ways than we saw in the first. Wayne adjusts, Rock's there in the back. Mott sets up Ross. Block controls it. Another chance. Back set this time for Hoppus. Again, the block. Well controlled. Third chance. Hoppus scores.
Boy, you know, off the hands, I thought that might be a little too tight, drawing Hoppus into the block, but she does a good job finding a little seam. And Duke's going to be, I think, a little annoyed to see that one back on tape because there's a lot of time for the block to get there, and there's still a little gap, allowing Hoppus to be able to put that ball away.
Serve floats long. So 20-16. BC already up a set.
Starting to get to the point where you need a run if you're Duke. Doesn't have to be a 4-point run here, but it does have to be 2 or 3 to try to get back in this set.
Hoppus, that time the block couldn't get it in, so another point for Sam Hoppus.
See the Duke coaches continuing to provide blocking advice, whether it's Elo or Zubcevic.
Diving play by Yelland. Collected at the net. Duke plays it out at 21-16. And Zubcevic is dug by Yelland. And now Ross. Williams trying to angle that from the back. It's pushed over. Eagles can play it out. Here is Hoppus. Block's getting a touch on more shots coming over from BC, and that time it gets through the block. Good power from Ashby Zubcevic.
Nice adjustment to bring her in, and definitely starting to deliver for Duke.
At the net, not over. Allen sends it right back. Duke plays it out. Here's Williams, and blocked. Maybe the best block of the day from BC.
Well, Hoppus got pushed through on the previous effort. This time she's able to get more on top of the net, and Ehrlich right there with her.
So 22-17. Williams has to go a long way. Back set for Ross, and she scores again. 7 kills for Audrey Ross.
Much different day. Totally different for Audrey Ross, just getting more in rhythm and seeing a lot more of the court to be able to swing at. And again, you usually don't see bad back-to-back Audrey Ross games, and after a tough one on Friday,
different times. More serves. And more now sets for Harrington. Plays it out. Williams steps up. Couldn't get everything on it. Yellen to back set for Ross. Williams is there on the dig. Cross court, Williams steps up and scores. Taylor Williams. It's kind of hard to believe it's only her 4th kill on 21 swings.
Yeah, Ehrlich, I think, just kind of got lost a little bit there in terms of where the set was going. Williams well in from the pin there, able to put one through.
Williams, who struggled a little bit against Syracuse, that's in play, even though it hit the scaffolding. The Eagles block it, though. Had just 3 kills against Syracuse, had her first negative hit percentage of the year, and the Eagles have had a similar successful defense against her today.
Yeah, big smile there from Jason Kennedy. There's a reason he's got Anna Harrington out there for that matchup. You can see she just is all over that one, and Ehrlich does a good job coming to close it off as well.
Allie Nat comes in to serve for Boston College, and 24-18 set point. And it goes, Brianna Goss. Just her 5th swing and gets her first kill.
But again, this is what I was talking about earlier, because, you know, at 2016, that's when you want to kind of make your run. Duke has just been trading points. You know, now you're in a situation where, you know, you can't afford a bad serve. You can't afford, you know, an easy pop-up serve either.
Moore sends it way up in the air on the set, and Rock, who won set 1. Back for Williams now, and does manage to get it through the block.
I don't think Jason Kennedy will panic quite yet. I think if you get to 22, that's probably when you'll see the timeout.
Back set for Harrington. Moore's there against Williams. And now Harrington. Block got a piece of it. Glass on the back set, could not get it over. And Boston College takes set number 2, 25-20. And the Eagles
program. And now you've got, you know, Stanford and SMU coming in and just continue to bolster the overall strength of the league.
Good block of the net by BC, and here is Harrington. Moore sets Rock shot. Harrington controls. Danica Rock reaching back for it. Godshaw comes up. Chance through the middle for Gloss. Moore bumps it over. This time it's Wayne. Good opening point here of this 3rd set. Rock. Again, it's Godshaw. Little miss hit on the set. The Eagles take advantage, too far out in front of Ehrlich. Another shot at it for Harrington. Try to go deep to the corner. Williams comes over to play it. Back row, Ross into the net. And Duke takes the opening point.
And that's where that new double contact rule aided Duke there. New setter Millie Meir with a little bit of a fumble, but you're able to sort of let those go now. Ross, good look at it, just catches it a little bit low.
Chivich this time executes. It's the trade-off we always talk about, right? When it works, it's a good reason for it.
I mean, that's a blast. I mean, she just unloads on that ball, and, you know, it's right down the line. Yellen trying to cover with The setter Moore going right in that alley.
Moore plays it for Rock. May have gotten deflected on the way through. Here's Williams. Ross is there in the back row. Back set, Harrington. Now Wayne. Rock starting to put more and more power on those shots. Rock couldn't control it. And Duke with a 3-0 lead here in the third set.
Well, that's the thing. You're seeing these powerful swings from Boston College, but you're seeing Duke pick them up. And this is, one of those things for BC. You have to find ways to put those swings away.
That is into the net.
You can't just be content to continue to blast away and hit them right at people. You got to be able to find gaps. You got to be able to find the court. Yeah, it's about finding that balance. Jason Kennedy always talks about hitters being terminal. You want to be terminal, but you also want to be low error.
Yep.
And it's about striking that balance. I think Rock has sort of won the job for the moment because she's a fairly low error hitter, but she's maybe not as terminal as some of the other options that Boston College has at that spot.
Good passer generally as well. The shot there for Duke. It's 4-1. Blue Devils lead.
I was thinking Duke has not had too many service issues yet today, and all of a sudden 2 misses right at the beginning of this set.
So it's 5 errors total, and really 4 of those have come since basically the midpoint of the second set. Wayne couldn't get it through, blocks it a good spot.
That one's all Audrey Ross there. Again, good recognition off the set, and just goes and meets the ball where Wayne is making contact with it. Great job being able to turn that one back into the court.
That almost worked from Ngozi Elo, but it's just a little bit too long, and Boston College has come back to tie it.
Yeah, another low contact point. Mir struggling to get that ball up high enough to where Elo can really do some damage with it.
Just scrapes over the net. And that gets blocked again. Good bounce back here. Look at Jason Kennedy coming off the bench. Just fired up. Couple points in a row.
I think he's trying to maybe inject a little life into the team. And just because you're up 2-0, don't think that, this one's done yet.
Audrey Ross gets the point. Duke couldn't get it back over, and it's 6-4. This was what we just talked about. Jason Kennedy coming off the bench. This was right after that last play when Boston College went from down 4-1 to up 5-4.
Loves Harrington being up there for that block. It's a large part of what BC's defense has been built around the last couple of years. Obviously, having Julia Haggerty at the center of it was massive. Blocking opponents at a historic level last year especially, but it's not necessarily all about one player. It's still about finding ways to produce blocks as a team.
Slide play works for Ngozi Elo.
And just a little too much air under that tip from Harrington allowed an easier play for Godshall. Let Duke sort of set up that play.
More back set. Harrington, well, didn't give any space that time.
It's one where you just aim for the shoe tops.
Eight kills for Harrington. Remember, 6 of those came in the first set. Still hitting .438 for the match, though. Just one error. From the back row, Zubcevic is dug by Rock. Shaw receives that Ross shot. Eagles can play it out. Up 7-6, Hoppus adds to it.
What a great dig by Rock here. I mean, this ball thunders off of the arm of Zubcevic. He does a great job making it at least playable for somebody up front, allowing BC to extend the rally.
Here's Ross, right down the line.
Great turn.
Yeah, watch how quickly she pulls this shot off.
I mean, it looks like the approach is going to be a little bit off here because she really has to jump forward. This set is well in from the antenna, and just to be able to turn midair.
So the Eagles have totally flipped this third set, down 4-1 at one point. It's now 9-6, though that is powered through. Boy, you know, you talked about this. Yeah, Duke's record is what it is right now, but there is some talent, even though it's young, that they're going to grow into, and Zubcevic is pretty impressive to watch, even as a freshman.
I mean, just an extremely powerful hitter.
Roach's shot controlled at the net. Now Mott goes cross court for Ross. It just gets enough of the block and goes out for the point. I mean, going back to Zubcevic, you mentioned it, to lead the state of California in kills. It's probably all the resume note you need.
Right. You know, only probably the largest producing state of volleyball talent in the country. But it goes beyond just her, right? I mean, you look at, you know, sort of this incoming class that Duke had. You know, Glass was the #1 ranked setter in the state of Florida, which is another unbelievable, you know, place to recruit talent from.
He's a top 5 setter in the nation. Goes there, it's 11-8.
Gillen Malveaux, one of their middles, top 10 recruit out of Texas. You know, they're getting these unbelievably talented players from all the hotbeds around the nation where you would recruit volleyball talent from, and it's just a matter of, can they get the right combination and can they all grow together?
Eagles could not get it over that time, so Duke is clawed back a bit here, back to 11-9. Elo serves. Hot back set for Hoppus. We'll get another chance. Elo controls, but it's off the referee stand, and it's 12-9.
That's just a smart shot by Hoppus. Blocked the first time through, so off the net. Just find someone to hit it at. You see Elo there in the back row. That's a target for any hitter. And again, just enough with the hit to be able to cause some consternation on the Duke side.
Rock down the line, a miss hit by. And BC takes advantage, so 13-9. Christina Barrow, who is lined up. Quite control it. Slide play. Oh boy, that had some power, but I'll say it was deflected. It would have missed long clean, but I think they ruled it was deflected somewhere.
Well, Ross tried to get out of the way. I wonder if they maybe called a net on Rock there. Yeah, you can see the net move as she comes down.
So 13-10, still power in that shot. Rock gets the point back.
You know, this is exactly what Jason Kennedy wants to see out of this 6-2, spreading the wealth. That's always been sort of the mantra of this offense. 5 players with at least 5 kills, 4 players with at least 6. Just wants to keep everybody involved, keep the defense off balance.
Didn't miss by much.
I think that was a little bit of a break. Gottschall and Zivkovic were looking at each other and wondering.
And Jason Kennedy wants them to take an extra look at it. So the difference between 14-11 and 15-10 here in this third set.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Certainly close.
Jinx. That looked extremely, like you said. Quick look at it. The way they can move the cameras in real time, they can get a really good look at it with the way they have the camera set up right down the line, so should be able to get a pretty good look at it. I think on that look they saw, I think this is in. Let's see.
Yep.
So they've overturned the call, and Boston College gets the point, which brings us to the media timeout. BC gets the ace from Aubrey Moore and makes it 15-10. Boston College the lead over Duke. Eagles, after trailing early 4-1, have flipped this set, and on review, Aubrey Moore with the ace. Eagles up 5 in the third.
Sort of underplayed how big a role she has in the 6-2.
That is powered through by Rock.
Another good setup there for Rock. And you know, it's one thing to have her distribution, which is good. She sets all 3 spots pretty efficiently. Her defense, I think, is really underplayed, though. The fact that she's, you know, always in the right position, has very good defensive instincts. And that was one of those things when she went out of the lineup, that started to be noticed a little bit more. That, you know, all of a sudden maybe the defense was a little bit lacking. Maybe the serve was off a little bit. Sometimes the setting distribution became a little more uneven, a little more predictable. And it was one of those things where she really blossomed toward the second half of ACC play last year, really, I think, became so much more a confident player. And you're seeing now she's sort of one of the young leaders of this BC team.
Well, you know, as an extension of that point, swing shot controlled in the back line by Ross. Rock couldn't quite get it over. Here is Moore on the back set. Harrington tried a little bit of a different shot. Gottschall was in good position, sent over by Zivkovic. Rock trying again. And that went into the net first, so point to Duke. The point I was going to make was, this year is the first time for Boston College since 2019 that you didn't have either Grace Penn or Sophie Lambros as one of your 2 setters in the 6-2, right? Lambros was here for 5 years. Penn ends up being here for 4 and then actually goes to Duke and plays her final year there. But in terms of how Jason Kennedy wants to run offense and his setters being so important, even just having the one is so crucial. So Moore, who obviously played quite a bit last year along next to Lambros, but so all of that kind of going away in the same moment, that is a lot to overcome early in the ACC calendar.
Absolutely. You know, you're dealing with 2 young players in general, even though one had some level of experience. But then also, you know, different skill sets. You're still, you know, working with them on decision-making and making sure you are setting all 3 spots, because that is part of the sort of ideal of the 6-2 is you have to involve every hitter.
Each team trading service errors there. So 17-13 Boston College leads.
Not to mention you're breaking in new hitters, a new left side opposite Audrey Ross. You're, solidifying that right side a little bit, which had been sort of a rotational piece the last couple of years, and you're working in a freshman middle.
Wayne to the back row, that missed. It's at the point in the set where you can't really afford to have errors, and still trading points here, so it's 18-13, Boston College the lead. Just gets over. The Eagles get the ace out of it.
Said I don't think it's been a overly significant disparity, but I think Boston College has started to edge ahead in the serving game, especially in this set. Just been a little bit better putting Duke out of system. I've gotten a couple nice bounces for aces, one for Yelland, one for Ross.
And Duke will use the timeout at 19-13, Boston College here in the third set. The way that SMU has come on as a program right along with them joining the ACC, and Pitt continues to be Pitt.
Oh man, Duke is, if they can't find a way back in this one, they're gonna look ahead at the stretch they've got.
Yeah.
4 out of the next 6 are top 10 teams in the country.
And they've played Carolina twice. That's their double partner.
So normally you'd say,
that's the only ranked teams they've played so far.
Yeah, normally you'd say, a 4-match homestand is good, but not when it's Louisville, Pitt, and SMU out of the 4.
Nice shot by Ngazi Elo. So Duke trying to stay in it here in the third set. 19-14 after this point from Elo, her 4th kill.
Well, obviously you're not gonna, base travel partners on, program success, but having Pitt and SMU be a travel pair.
Well, especially because when it really doesn't work geographically.
Yeah.
But, obviously that's just part of where we are right now. Excellent dig in the back row. Arrington takes something off. Elo goes and finds it. That was Barrow had that great play for Duke. Yellen bumps, Ross comes in, same play she made a little earlier that we talked about. That turn to the middle, comes down and gives Boston College a 20-14 lead.
Yeah, just give her a different release point, right, in from the pin. Great pickup there by Barrow on that shot down the line, but they'll continue to feed Ross and she'll continue to find ways around the block.
So free ball over. Now it's back on for Duke. That's off the block and out from Avery Hamlin.
Missed opportunity there on the overpass. A little hesitation, it felt like, from Ross, whether or not she could go and get that ball. Vera had a good deflection.
Mott will give Ross a chance. Blocking a good spot for Duke. Ross tries again to the back row. That's a rare miss hit from Godshall.
And tough because if she can just get out of the way, that ball's going to go out of bounds. It was a knuckler from Ross. And Godshall standing in front of it, I mean, you're going to trust yourself to make that play every time, and it's a play she probably makes 99 times out of 100.
Allie Knapp comes in to serve for Boston College. Slide play works well from Elo. Elo goes back to serve. Good chance for Boston College. Hoppus. Well done in the back row by Hamlin. Gives Chevich a chance. Yellen there on the dig. Rock comes back over. Free ball is missed. Roach goes long with it, and it's 21-17.
Terrific job by Rock on the shot. Barrow again just gives Duke another chance, and then the momentum halted immediately with another missed serve.
So 22-17.
Just too many of those instances for the Blue Devils today, those pivotal momentum points where you can try to string things together. And you just sort of cut yourself off at the knees.
Savannah Curtis in to serve for Boston College. Came in and had an ace in the second set. Try to go to the back row. It's a really smart shot, as that spot was open. Grace Thrower comes in for the first time, just her third set of the year for Duke. Savchevich, that did not get over. So 23-18.
And just tried to wait on that one and sneak it down the line, but no room there.
BC 2 points away. Chevich took something off that time. It's Harrington. Piece of it. Right back over for Moore. Shaw sets up. Chevich is blocked. 2 in a row for the block on that side, and it's match point for Boston College. And Duke will use the timeout.
That is a great example of the difference maker that Aubrey Moore is with her defense. Just sitting right in the pocket for that tip. And again, it's not a perfect pass, but it's one that she's able to just smother, take some of the steam out of the ball, extend the point, and gives that block another chance, critical moments.
And which team can kind of build their way into the season, as we talked about, start to get better in the second half of a very long conference schedule. So it's Aubrey Moore serving on match points for Boston College. Savchevich goes cross court. Moore was there to the middle. That is long. Was it tipped is the question, and the point goes to Duke.
Ehrlich in the net.
So 24-19. And Savchevich will go back to serve. Do you risk it on match point?
Nope.
No, indeed. Doesn't matter. Harrington wins it for Boston College. They sweep Duke.